All right. I think I'm here. I think we're good. Still learning, still growing, still trying to figure all of this out. Microphone apparently did not want to work. So hopefully everybody, I know I just saw in the chat that we can hear. Thumbs up for hearing. I will get the desktop audio down just a little bit more. If at any time you can't hear me, let me know. We are improvising today, which is a really good thing for today, actually, as we kind of, I think, through what we're going to be talking about and how this is going to all come about and happen. We're here. We're making it happen on this Twitchy Tuesday. That's what it's all about. As things are occurring, here we are. I am Maloney Adams. Thank you so much for joining me. I am the CEO and founder of Habitual Sage. Oh, I love that. Perfection is perspective. I am the CEO and founder of Habitual Sages, and you are joining me for Twitchy Tuesday. What is Twitchy Tuesday, do you ask? It is where we go live, multi-streaming on Twitch as well as on YouTube, and we talk about all things astrology and tarot. I love placing both of those divinatory tools together. They overlap each other, they support each other, they provide a different level of clarity and understanding, and I love talking about both. I love doing both. So before we get into it, as I had talked about, but apparently nobody heard me because that's how they wanted it, I just want to say thank you so much to the ancestors who provided these tools for us, allowing them to speak to me and speak through me so I can continue to do their work here today. Yeah, the 28th. All right. Well, there's not a lot of astrology today from a direct aspect perspective, but tomorrow is the start of March, and March is going to be full blown, just packing a punch. Every week, what do we got? Oh, King of Swords. No holds bar, no bullshit. March. Nothing. This is what we got in March. We've got no bullshit. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we've got coming up. So the first, tomorrow, big annual Venus and Jupiter conjunction. This is going to be in the sign of Aries at 12 degrees, 9 minutes. The word that I got for this was jubilous. I don't know if that's an actual word, but I feel like in this day, this 2023, this March 1st, with everything going on, with all of the major astrology happening in March, jubilous, like jubule, was just not enough for this Venus-Jupiter conjunction. So we'll talk about it here in a second. Then on the second, Mercury and Saturn conjunction, 29 degrees, 25 minutes. That is going to be in Aquarius. And then right smack dab after that, we have, hold on, card down. Let's see what card this is. Oh, we got the Six of Cups. We'll talk about that because Mercury is going into Pisces. We will definitely talk about that. All of your options. Look at all the messages coming in. Look at all the things that are present for us as we go through this Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Saturn, Mercury and Pisces. And then how kind is the universe after this really big juxtaposition between the first and the second? We get 2 days, the third and the fourth. 2 days of integration, 2 days of intentionality, 2 days of what I'm calling rehab, before we pick back up with Mercury and Pisces sextiling the North Node in Taurus, 5 degrees, 12 minutes, and then the Sun in Pisces on the 6th will sextile Uranus in Taurus at 15 degrees, 43 minutes. And yeah, that's kind of like, I'm getting this Uranus being a cheerleader for chaos. And I really feel like right at this time, it's like the cosmos. It was really funny because I got this vision as I was preparing for today. of like this cartoon of like the cosmos and all of their glory sitting on high of Mount Olympus and like out in the universe. And they're all like, you know, relaxing and eating and enjoying all of this jubilance. For those of you that saw Thor Love and Thunder, it's like when they got to Olympus and there's Zeus, right? And it's all of this opulence and this gold, and like everybody's just enjoying everything that they can in this space while like the God Slayer's out on the loose. And it's like the whole conversation is like, who's putting bets on Saturn? What do you think Saturn's going to do? Hey, we got one day left before Saturn gets in to Pisces. What do we think? Who wants to take bets that this is going to happen and that's going to happen? And it's like they're just having this whole conversation, and then here's like Uranus in the background, like silently goading, giving the elbow to Saturn, going, "Hey, put my money on this. I'll split it with you if you make it happen." So it's this very interesting conversation over the next 7 days. And let's take a look at what we have for the deck, so that way I can begin to talk about more in depth about the astrology over the next 7 days. I want to really focus in on this Venus and Jupiter, Mercury, Saturn juxtaposition that we have going on. And then give you a little insight into Mercury and Pisces, but I'm really being called to pull cards while I do that, to really just add that layer and that additional level to the conversation. So I will throw in the YouTube description, for those of you that are on YouTube, I will throw these decks that I am using in there, so that way if you would like them, you have access to them. But primary deck today, it's kind of like an original Raider White Tarot deck, so I'm excited to pull out this one. They're actually, they feel really great. I really like how these ones are feeling today. Much larger than my hand, but we're going to make it work. We're going to rock out with it. You should see all of the flying. And then I've got the Tiny Tarot for any sort of, the Morgan Greer Tarot for any sort of clarification that we need. And there's a lot of healing going on right now. There's a lot of healing going on. There's a lot of healing available to all of us. A big process of change, a big process of like shifting of seasons is letting go. Part of that process of letting go can talk through like grief and, you know, just taking stock, understanding. Maybe there's some things that you're just like holding on to. So I was really called to use this Heal Yourself Oracle deck, and I've got the book here so we can get more information on what is coming through. So let me get these out of the way, and let's start to talk through this, what I'm calling the juxtaposition of the first and second. So again, just to re-clarify, the Venus-Jupiter conjunction, 12 degrees, 9 minutes. That happens tomorrow. That is supposed to be like such a jubilant, again, this jubilous energy. It's your two benefics, right? Benefic planets, Jupiter and Venus together, which a benefic planet is just what it sounds like. It is a planet that gives benefit. These two planets are our beneficiaries in energy. And they want to, Jupiter, expand things. Venus, want to make it beautiful, want to make it secure, want to make it worthwhile. Jupiter wants to take what you have perceived as limits before and give you new knowledge. So that way those limits can be expanded. They can be moved forward. Jupiter is not a glass ceiling sort of planet. There is no glass ceiling. There's not even a limit on the universe. So why is Jupiter is like, don't limit ourselves. We can continue to move that bar farther and farther and farther and farther down the road. So With Venus and Jupiter coming into Aries, Aries is this really initiatory energy. And that is, again, no coincidences. I get that the Gregorian calendar, this is how you know, like, all things just fit perfectly. From a calendar perspective, this is March 1st, the very beginning of a new month. And here we have Venus and Jupiter meeting up on this day to initiate in an initiatory sign in Aries at a 12-degree point, almost 13. And it's like this massive initiation, this really big breath, this beautiful feeling, this beautiful expansion. Again, Venus rules our five senses. So it's this wonderful feeling, this of being able to breathe in with full capacity, into our lungs with full capacity. And that is initiating us into these energies of March, these energy changes we are going to experience, which by now I hope everybody knows Saturn's moving into Pisces. And then we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius at the end of March. We have the first of 2 new moons in Aries. What? Like, okay. We've got a full moon in Virgo coming up. So there's something here that is initiating for us. And, oh, hello. We've kind of been waiting. This is the Queen of Wands. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for this time. I have talked for months now about, like, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. You may feel like you want to go somewhere, but there's nowhere to go. It's time now. March, set it for months. March is the time to go. And this is the start of that. There is action here. Wands are all about action. But I want to just be very clear, because with the Queen of Wands coming up, yes, there's action here, but the Queen is no punk. She ain't no fool, right? Think about the archetype of the Queen. The Queen does what is necessary, takes action in what is necessary for her constituents, for her kingdom, for the people that she rules over. She takes thoughtful action when she's in her highest expression and power, just like Venus does. She takes very calculated action. There's a lot here that's, she takes action on the information that is provided to her at the time. So she does the best with the information that she has to move forward with. And that's really where this Mercury and Saturn the next day can come in. And Mercury's his whole transit right now, especially because he is retrograding this year in Earth signs, this is where he is coming in clutch, because he's our messenger, right? The Queen relies on him. The Queen is not sitting there out in, all of the places that she rules, like going door to door and understanding all of the particulars of every single thing that is going on. That's not what she's doing right now. And she really doesn't have capacity to, right? There are so many things that may be piling on, right? So many different areas that need focus and attention right now. And she has to rely on the people that are around here. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Look at that. The King and the Queen of Wands are here. King just showing up as we're talking about action. So here's that other side of it, right? The King, the masculine energy version of actually taking that action. The Queen interpreting what information is being brought into her in order to take correct action forward. What has your intention been? What have you been focused on? What are you wanting to start? Three of Cups. Where is your energy at? Where is your ability to, like, your emotional energy at right now? Are you making decisions from a place of, you know, good intention? Are you making them from a space of what you want to be able to celebrate for in the future? Or are you just like, hey, I want this, so I'm going to go get it right now? Yeah, I know. I know. I was told. I was told by Mercury. I was told by my friends. I was told by these people that I'm celebrating with as I was having a delicious beverage with them. I was told. I was told maybe that might not be the right decision right now, or it was. And so instead of listening to me, I'm going to listen to them. Knight of Cups. Oh, hello. And the Two of Cups. Lots of emotion on the table. So let's think through this a little bit deeper as we can get these dots to go. We put this here. Okay, so in this Venus and Jupiter conversation, initiation into things. We have been waiting. It is time. We have been waiting. Look, we want to celebrate this time. We have been waiting for this moment. We have reassessed our landscape, right? Here's this Knight of Cups sitting here. We have reassessed the landscape. We have reassessed what is good for us from a value perspective, what is good for us from a community perspective, right? That's that Aquarian energy that Mercury, our messenger, has been going through and is going to head into Pisces. So we've taken stock. We have done this reassessing of the landscape. And it's time. It's time to be decisive. It's time to sit on our horse and begin to take that decisive action. It's time to transition to this pure potentiality. These two cards, pure potential. Pure potential for all the joy that we want, all the celebration, all the abundance, not just for ourselves, but for those that we surround ourselves with. And there's some sort of great union here. There's like, it's a yes. It's a yes. It's a yes now. So if you've done that, if you've done this decisive action, if you've reassessed your landscape, that action is right. If you've done the work, that's kind of the key here. Is there's two different ways that the King and Queen of Wands can take that action. They can take it from that space of, I've done the work, I've listened, I've interpolated, I've discerned, and now I'm taking the action that I know is right for me, and it's right for my people. It is right for my community. It's right for those that are going to execute that action on my behalf. Because a lot of times we don't do things alone, right? It's not just only us that takes this action. You may have to, for example, if you're building a business, you may have to get a license. It may involve other people helping you to do that. It may involve other businesses helping you to do that. So yes, I can do that. And there's going to be, it's a yes. There's going to be reward at the end. There's going to be things that are going to be able to come in and land. And it's going to be very emotionally fulfilling. That's the other thing. Another thing that I'm getting with this is, as again, we've been in this kind of like holding pattern. And a lot of that has to do with Mars. A lot of that has to do with Mars. Mars is still fucking in Gemini. He will be there through March. He will get into Cancer at the end of March on the 25th. So we got to go through all of these massive changes with Mars still in Gemini. Sure, I understand. Look, Suri doesn't even understand. Sis saying, I don't understand. Like, Mars is still there. And Venus and Jupiter has to answer to Mars. They are in his home sign. Now, as the benefics, as both of them are getting together, yeah, they have that higher energy space. They've got that higher vibration that's working for them. But Mars has been uber slow. He's been grinding, just like no pedal to the metal, no action forward, nothing you can do but sit here and be in your thoughts. And this celebration, a lot of this like wonderful, like really freeing emotional energy is part of that. We're breaking free from that now. We've got this initiation. Venus and Jupiter are like, yo, Mars, you're going to get there. We're going to go ahead and jumpstart you. It's like Mars has a dead battery on the side of the road. He's just got this dead battery, and Venus and Jupiter come over and they hook up and they give him a jump. And then he's like, okay, I can get going. You guys can take action. We can be doing things now. And that is a reason to celebrate. That's a reason to celebrate because, fuck, it's been a long time. It has been slow rolling for a while. And then again, now I'm going to actually put these back and we're going to transition to a vastly different energy space going into the next day. So that is going to be March 2nd. Again, Mercury and Saturn are conjunct. Mercury and Saturn. Yep, we'll talk about that in a sec. I told you, vastly different energy signature. Mercury and Saturn are wonderful friends together. Man, can they get shit done. Like, especially as we talk about them in Aquarius, that last degree of Aquarius. Granted, yes, both of them are exhausted. It is an anoretic degree. You're finalizing things. You have just like traversed 28 degrees to get where you're at. And it takes Mercury and Saturn a little bit extra juice to like be in their friendship at their brightest expression, their highest vibratory expression. They gotta dig, right? This is one of those moments where like best friends kind of come to a moment where you're like, I think we might just need to like not talk for a second. Like, let me process. I need my own space. I need my own moment. And let me clear my air. Let me get me right. And then we can continue on and continue to go forward. And that's kind of that feeling right now with Mercury and Saturn. Yeah, they work really well together, but this might be one of those moments where they also just, what is that word? They feed each other. They, oh man, what's the word I'm trying to get to? Where like they goad each other on essentially. So it's like not trying to make each other better, but instead it could be that energy of, well, let me continue to goad you on. So that could be showing up. On the other hand, this could be really wonderful. This could be something of like the last hurrah, where you do dig in, you do, again, this last hurrah, you dig in and you do find that extra little like spurt of energy and you like go out on the town and fucking get 10 pentacles. You get all the things that you needed. You have a great time. What is this? This is 8? Yeah, the 8. No, 9. 9 of rods instead. That's the other. I feel these as two like very different ways to interpret Mercury and Saturn conjunct on the 2nd. Like these are two very different ways to do that. So let's get some clarifiers. So again, let's talk about this 9 of rods and that kind of lackluster energy that Mercury and Saturn could be bringing forth. And that could be a lot more maybe collective, individual, right? So we got to remember that Mercury is going to bring in, if that's our thoughts and our communication, Mercury is going to bring in a little bit of an understanding, or could bring in more clarity on what Saturn in Aquarius was all about. And we have to remember, we have a collective experience and we have a individual experience, and those can happen and do happen simultaneously. So when Saturn went into Aquarius 3 years ago, that was the start of the pandemic and everything that occurred around the world, the collective experience that we had as a society, as a world society, as a human society that we had through that time frame. So Saturn in Aquarius, this last final degree point, Mercury could be bringing in extra communication, extra understanding of what it was all about. We've already seen some of that. I've seen some of those reports that there's a lot of, like, the New York Times had a couple of different news stories about the pandemic itself. And that's brand new information. And it is different information than the information that we have been getting over the last 3 years. Okay, I'll take both of those. Thank you. Okay, so this is how these came out. For those of you that are new to my readings, I do not read reversals. So if you do read, please feel free to utilize reversals if you get different messages. Love that. Please leave them in the comments, whether you are watching on YouTube, live, or on the replay. Would love to hear any other interpretive messages if you are a reader and you do read reversals. So back to Mercury and Saturn and this not exactly showing the best expression of each other. And the other thing that could be coming in is, what is Saturn in Pisces going to be all about? And that could be some additional communication. So where have you put up different boundaries as Saturn has transitioned through Aquarius? Where have you put up different boundaries? Where have you made changes in your value system, and how, in the areas of life that you find your, how do I want to put this? Like, what do you need to survive? The seven of coins. What do you need to survive? 7 of Pentacles. What does it really take for you to be bountiful? And then you have here the 5 of Swords. What during this time frame, what shit have you believed that you no longer believe anymore? What things during this campaign that we've been on with Saturn and Aquarius have we needed to let go of? Have we needed to bury? Have we needed to transition to? This guy can't carry 5 swords for 3 years. There were changes that were made. What did that look like for you over these last 3 years? And some of this, again, with Mercury here, some of this you may not know yet, or you've had an inkling, but you didn't really realize what was happening, what was occurring, what you were transitioning through, how you became the King of Pentacles, how you became this sovereign ruler of your own body, your own mind, your own freedoms, your own world that you create. How has that, as Saturn's been going through Aquarius, how has that shifted based on your boundaries, the containers that you created for your world? And how have those things shifted and changed? And then Here we have Pisces coming in. Here we have Saturn coming into Pisces. And this can also be part of this story. As that transition, as that shift happens, Mercury could be like kind of, hey, I'm announcing what some of these things look like for you. And I'm announcing that it ain't all as crazy as you thought it was. Yeah, there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of things happening in that collective experience. But for you, you got the 10 of coins. That's full. Ooh, hello. That's full everything you need. That is everything that you need to get the tangible things on this earth that allows you to feel, again, going back to this, it fulfills what you need to live a happy, rewarding, secure existence. And that is different person to person. Very different person to person. And so, hold on, let me get one more, please. Oh, no, like that's like 12. Let's not do that. One more, please. There we go. All right. So in this kind of other realm where, yeah, okay, you know, Mercury and Saturn are like on this last hurrah, like, woo, yes, we are here. We're meeting up again. Nice to see you. Let me tell you what we've been up to. And guess what? I'm dropping in. I'm dropping into Pisces. Let's go ahead and just have some excitement, have this wonderful bout of joy. Let's go like spend all the coins that we can. Let's like go rent out a huge venue and let's have a party. Let's bring in what is next. Let's actually do this from a space of growth, a space of, again, intention, a space of decisive action, which we talked about with Venus and Jupiter, because remember, that was right before. So here we have the 10 of coins and the 7 of rods, the Ace of wands, and the moon. So it's, again, I love that the moon showed up. This is what's being drawn first to me because Mercury is the messenger, right? Mercury does have that ability to like, hey, give you things in dreams. The moon give you things in the intuitive side. And especially because Mercury will be heading into Pisces like right after this conjunction. So here's Mercury already kind of getting that energy ready for Saturn, like scrubbing some of the initial thought processes. So be aware of your dreams right now. Be aware of the messages that are coming in for you through whether that's intuition, synchronicities, music that you hear, numbers that you see, colors, subjects that come up onto your feed randomly and you're like, why is this here? There could be messages there in this 10 of Pentacles. There could be great messages. Something new is beginning. The universe, yes, Saturn has the restriction. Saturn has the ability to make sure that our foundations are stable. And if not, show us where they're not and highlight them in some really unique and very wonderful ways. But Saturn's also your gift giver. The Ace of Wands, he has a gift to give you at the end of this Aquarius season. And not only is it in this celebratory energy, it could be something brand new that he's like, hey, Mercury, give this so that way as you go forward into Pisces and start clearing that air for me, clearing that water for me and kind of, setting the stage for me, getting my boat ready, you can be there. You take this with you. This is a gift. This is your gift. This is your gift for all of the hard work that you've done as I've been going through Aquarius season. Because it ain't been easy. It has been effing work. It has been work. But that's the reward. That's what's given. Always. If you do the work, Saturn rewards you for that. Doesn't mean that the work's going to be easy. And also, this is the same thing with Saturn going into Pisces. Period. Saturn going into Pisces is also going to be all about the work. There's still more work to do. Now it's just in the Piscean area of your chart, of your natal chart. It's in the Piscean themes as we look at the collective experience. That's where our work's going to be needed. Instead, we've got to leave this Aquarius behind, take what we've learned, do our assessment, which we should have already been doing. We should have been being prepared at this point. And now we're going forward. One of the other messages that I got, because I think it really clearly highlights this Mercury, his position, and what Mercury and Pisces can really be about, but also what I think with Mercury and Saturn meeting up, and this is more in the collective perspective. One of the images that I got as I was thinking through this was I kept hearing the British are coming. The British are coming. And I was like, okay, let me make sure, Paul Revere, got it. Let me make sure, though, that he was the one that actually said that. Let me do my fact checks, right? Somebody fact check me, doing all those things. And as I was looking at that, because that's what I'm really feeling Mercury is doing for Saturn, right? He's meeting up with Saturn, and then he is, again, clearing the water in Pisces and making this huge announcement to the cosmos, because that's what Mercury does. He is announcing things that Saturn's going to be arriving. He's got the big horn. He's I'm getting the picture of Aladdin when the genie introduced Aladdin as the Sultan. And that's what Mercury is going ahead. Hey, Saturn is arriving in Pisces. Everybody, you're welcome. He's clearing this way. He's clearing the water. And that's when I kept hearing the British are coming. But this is where it gets really interesting, is as I was looking at that, there's a lot of stories out there about Paul Revere never said that. It's what we know, but again, what do we really know of history? What do we actually know? And do we hold that as our truth? Do we keep that as a program? Do we not? And there was a poem, which is a very Piscean thing, by the way. And that poem essentially was what had, for, at least in my generation, us aligning the British are coming in that statement to Paul Revere. Well, if you really look at it, there were 3 men involved, and there's potential that those words actually never came out of Paul Revere's mouth. And so it's one of those, you can't ever say for sure that he ever said that. But one, that's what my brain conjured. And two, that's what some of us might have been holding as true. That's going to be this Mercury and Saturn conjunction, right? And then Saturn getting into Pisces. What is true about your reality? Your reality. Not the collective reality, your reality. What is true for you? Do you take the time to go and look at something like, let me find out if Paul Revere actually did say that. Let me dig a little bit into this and see exactly what is happening here. Let me do some research. Let me not just trust what I see. Let me not just trust what is coming in from the messages. That's the beauty when Mercury and Saturn work together really well, is Mercury can bring everything that he thinks and all of this communication to Saturn, and Saturn can go, no, yes, no, this is some bullshit, dig deeper into that, and he can help you structure that. Oh, look, the seven of Pentacles came right back to us. So it's this, We will talk about Saturn moving into Pisces. I've already, last Twitchy Tuesday, we did a whole thing on Saturn and a whole reading for Saturn, so you can go check that out. But we will talk about it next week because Saturn goes into Pisces on the 7th, but it is reality. And Saturn is asking, what is real for you? That's going to be part of his gift that is going to be brought through in the next 3 years as he is in Pisces and transiting Pisces. So we'll talk more about that. With this 7 of Pentacles, talking through, again, it's like I keep getting this, like Saturn is just asking, what is true? What do you need? What are things that you need to pay attention to right now? And more than likely you already know, because guess what? You can see these. You can see these pentacles. This dude can see these pentacles on this bush. It shouldn't be a surprise. At this point, it shouldn't be a surprise. You should know what you need. And you should know, hey, this is the time that I'm going to need to pluck some of these. I'm going to need to actually use some of this as we go forward through March, and as I'm bringing in these manifestations, as I'm bringing in the things that are right for me and for where I'm going. I may have to use some of those. And Saturn is going to be able to give you those realities, those boundaries, in order to use all of that appropriately, as there's a whole bunch of other stuff happening. Sure, I understand. Surrey just doesn't get it. Does not get it. All right, Mercury in Pisces. Love that. Love that the devil came out, and this I keep getting the word detriment because that's what Mercury in Pisces is in. So Mercury, as it transits through Pisces, is in his detriment. What that means is when a planet is in their detriment, they are farthest away from one of their home signs. And it's not that there's, like, don't think of the term detrimental. It takes a lot more for the planet to do what it's supposed to do in a sign in its detriment. It just takes more energy. Doesn't mean that it's not possible. It's obviously possible. It's just going to take a little bit more. And I love that we got all this water here, because Pisces is just like, we've had a lot of cups. So with Mercury and Pisces, very psychic, very intuitive, very visionary. Yes, the star. Thank you so much for that. That is a wonderful card to pull for Mercury and Pisces. Very musical. Musical is a really great thing. So again, this could be going back to that moon that showed up, having the star here. Listen to those synchronicities. Mercury does really well with bringing information to us through our feeling center, bringing information to us through our intuitive center, through the messages from the stars, the cosmos, synchronicities, all of those things. That's how Mercury communicates in Pisces. It communicates very fluidly through waves, right? Like, I keep getting this image, just like my shirt, just like the Twitchy Tuesday shirt. There's like, things flow, vocal tones, music, all of those things flow on sound waves. That's just like water. Those waves, that ripple of energy. That's how Mercury brings in messages, communicates, helps you think through things. There's, again, this very visionary aspect to Mercury here. But that's, again, this big vision, which is awesome. But that's where the devil comes in. And this is where you have to be able, and this, I love that Saturn's following just a couple days later, because he will bring that clarity. Don't get lost in the sauce. Mercury in Pisces is really great about shinning out. And when I say the term shinning out, that's that, like, complete break from reality where you're just like, I'm changing my whole world. I'm sitting here lost in the, again, that lost in the sauce. I'm lost in the waters. I don't ever care about coming back to reality. I totally signed up for, this vacation, or I'm moving my whole being to a whole nother location, and just making rash decisions based on emotions, reacting to what is happening around you, or reacting to what you're moving through based on feelings versus logic. Saturn going to come into Pisces 7 days later and is going to be like, yeah, okay, so that vacation you booked in a retreat for like 12 weeks in Bali, that ain't gonna work, bro. Ain't gonna work. We gotta figure something else out. Like, we gotta figure that out. It might be possible, but not the way that you presented it, because you presented it from a feeling center instead of a logic center. So we're gonna have to rehash that a little bit. Mercury really leaves all reason behind in Aquarius, right? There's crystal clear logic in Aquarius, has nothing to do with feelings, and then all of a sudden you're immersed in this woe is me. Another great thing from Mercury and Pisces, this woe is me. I can't get anything, I really want all of these things to come in for me, but I'm just, do I really want to do that? Okay, let me do these whimsy things, but let me not focus on the things that actually matter. Because this is what actually matters, not this. This is what actually matters, what's coming in. Pay attention. You've got messages coming in that can add to this abundance. It can add to what you already have. The other question that came up for me is, what surrounds you? As Mercury heads into Pisces and as Saturn coming into Pisces, what is surrounding you? You have 6 days with Mercury setting the way for Saturn. What are you swimming in? What surrounds you? What needs to be changed in your surroundings? And remember, this is Mercury, so think through a lot of the things that come in, how you receive your information, how you receive your communication, what needs to change within that? How do you think through things? Again, just like this Paul Revere thing. Can I put things into place in these 7 days that are going to be mental red flags for me? So that way I can check in. So that way I can make sure that I'm swimming in the waters that I need to for my highest good, the collective good, my highest good, my highest purpose that I am here for. That doesn't mean that, it's not fun and it's not, like, if you want to take a whole day and just Netflix and chill, be on TikTok for a few hours, dude, on you. That's great. But what's that mental red flag that's going to go, okay, hold on. Is this what I want to be surrounding myself with? Is this what I want to swim in right now? Do I need to curate this in a different way for myself? So that is really this, again, this juxtaposition, right? We've got these two very different energies, one of this buoyancy, the other of this, all right, here we are. What are we doing? What are we going to be doing? And then again, thankfully, the universe gives us 2 days to kind of wade through that. There are no major aspects on the 3rd and the 4th, so we do get what I'm calling 2 rehab days. Take them. Maybe that is the moment that you want to just Netflix and chill on the 3rd and the 4th. Maybe that is the moment that you just want to hold on, let me break from reality for a moment and just be able to be receptive and think through things. And now that I've gotten this gift from Venus and Jupiter, let me think through what I'm going to do with it. And then on the 5th, again, Mercury in Pisces sextiles the North Node in Taurus at 5 degrees, 12 minutes. And the 6th, the Sun in Pisces sextiles Uranus in Taurus at 15 degrees, 43 minutes. Again, this is like the cheerleader for chaos energy for me. So that wraps out the week. I do want to pull a couple of cards. We talked about this. Oh, Judgment and Knight of Wands wanted to come out. We talked about this Mercury and Pisces, these three things. So I'm just going to pull a quick spread on what that energy, like how we can work through this energy, how we can be best supported. And then again, we have the Healing Yourself Oracle deck, and then that will take us to the end. That's our Twitchy Tuesday end for 228. So Knight of Wands and Judgment. Knight of Wands, again, that fast action energy. This could be a little bit like I'm getting these both actually, I'm getting very Uranus energy from. And that Sun in Pisces sextiling Uranus and Taurus, like there's going to be something highlighted as you're wading through that water, like as you're, okay, hey, we're going someplace, we're doing some things. Uranus is still like, haha, yeah. All right, what are you doing? Let's change it up. Hey, let's kick it into the next gear. Let's highlight what I've been doing at this 15-degree mark. I've been here before. Let's highlight what's transitioning. Let's highlight how some things are going to get shaken up even more as Saturn's doing all of his business. As we head into this Virgo the next day, the Virgo full moon. What do you need to be paying attention to? Where's that illumination point? And that is what this Judgment's all about. Where's that illumination point? This is Gabriel blowing his horn. What is Gabriel blowing his horn about? The sun can help you illuminate that. If you are having questions, if you are wading through this murky fog, the heavy waters of Pisces, Uranus can come in and provide a little bit of that, like, hey, clarity. You're welcome. But then he's just gonna bow out. Just gonna bow out and go away. And then let Virgo take over, which is going to be great. And again, yes, we will do a reading for the Virgo full moon next week because it is going to be on the 7th, which is the next Twitchy Tuesday. So I'm excited about that. We will be doing it on the moon and we'll have an awesome deck. I already got some messages on what, like the spread and everything. So I'm excited for that. All right, quick little reading on what? All right. As we get into March and these energies shift, what do we need to be aware of? As we get into, thank you. Okay. And any other things that we need to be aware of? All right. So these are some cards that we've already seen before. Here we've got cards that we have seen with 2 cards that we haven't. And that actually, there we go. That's what they want. All right. So as we move into these new energies in March, what do we need to be aware of? Our power. We need to be aware of our power. We need to be aware of what power we hold, what we have the capability and ability to do. What I talked about this the last time, but it came up just now. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need it. There's also Aries here. This is a very Aries card. So here you've got these 2 Aries. Again, that goes back to Venus and Jupiter. There is greatness abound. There is expansive, explosive very like rich, and rich not just in like monetary wise, but rich in all capacities. There is such richness in the air. There is such potential. This is a card all about potential, but you've got to take it by the fucking horns. Potential is all around us. This moment, potential, pure potential. And as we transition, I talked about this in my quarterly or in my year ahead reading, the quarter 2 phrase is pure potential. And that starts today. That starts every day as we walk through and we get another opportunity to become the emperor. I found this on the web. To make this kingdom. Surrey has been active today. We're taking that off. To make this empire, to create exactly what you want to create. I also love that it kind of looks like Saturn, right? Saturn sitting on the throne, like, yeah, I did that damn thing, right? As we think about Saturn moving from Aquarius into Pisces, yeah, I did that damn thing. I did that damn thing. I kicked ass through there. And that is really where I hear this celebratory energy coming from. Please celebrate what you have been through. Please celebrate what we collectively have been through. Celebrate where you are, how you've grown. Take stock. That is what Saturn is asking us for these first 6 days in March. We get time and we get this beautiful conjunction with Mercury to understand, to get more information, to provide a level of clarity for us if it isn't there already. How have we grown? How have we grown as a society? How have we grown in our lives? How have we grown in our communities and what we're doing for them? How have we grown in the Aquarian themes of where that sits within our natal chart? How have we grown and how are we going to celebrate that? How are we going to take that stock and be able to, pat ourselves on the back, be able to share that story, because that's part of the collective experience. That's part of the gift of Aquarius, is understanding that we are connected. It's also the gift of Pisces, which is understanding that our experience here, through us, all things are possible. If I proceed forward and if I do my own work, that benefits everybody. Everybody around me gets benefited from that. So it's this wonderful time to take stock. And that's where this card comes in. The 8 of Cups. It is this taking stock. That's exactly what this card is looking at, right? We have this something, there's one thing here. There's something here. Pure potential. What is it? What is missing? What is missing from this? What are you unsure of? What do you not have direction yet on? What needs to still come in for you? That's great. But this person ain't giving up, right? I've got all of these. They're secure. They're doing what they need to be doing. I'm going to go and climb the next mountain. Capricorn. As Pluto heads out of Capricorn and is at 29 degrees as well, and is going to hit that 0 degree of Aquarius, I'm going to go climb my last mountain, go find this fucking cup. I'm going to bring it back down. I'm going to put it in its spot because I'm taking all of that with me. The other thing that this is popping up for me is, especially with the Emperor and having these popped out, with the Emperor here, who really is giving me all of these Saturn vibes, where is your foundation still not stable? And be prepared in Pisces season, when Saturn gets into Pisces, these initial 7 degrees that Pisces is going to be rolling through, it is going to show you where you're missing something in your foundation. And given that it's cups, given that it's Pisces, think through, and again, this is where your natal chart comes into play and everything, but really think through what you're missing emotionally, what you're missing from that feeling perspective, what part of your foundation has to be worked on and fortified in order to strengthen feelings, in order to strengthen emotional areas of your life, Piscean areas of life. It's almost like I'm getting this image of, I just learned, apparently, this was a new learning for me. I learned that some people, like there's a whole community that lives on floating cabins. Fucking awesome. Please, if you are one of them and you're like, oh my God, that's me, shout out on YouTube, because that is really effing cool. I've got 1,000 questions. But people like permanently live on floating cabins. Okay, that's great. I'm sure when you got there, you still had things to learn. But how did you go about doing that, right? Was your foundation perfectly solid as soon as you got there? No. There were things that you had to figure out. There's changes that you made throughout this process. As Saturn moves into Pisces and as Pluto moves into Aquarius, that they're still going to show some of those things. They're going to show where, hey, crap, this is a little, this part of my floating cabin needs to be fortified. I need to put different wood down. Oh, you don't use this type of wood in the cabin. You have to use this type of wood because of the water. Oh, the rope that I used wasn't the right kind of rope. It needs to be this kind of rope. Or, hey, this rope was working really well, but I'm upgrading that rope because I want to be more solid in my foundation. Hey, I need to add this on top of my roof. Maybe it's time to get solar panels so that way I can be more energy efficient on my little floating cabin. I need to replace something. I need to adjust something. That can all be what's going to be coming up. What do you need? What does your foundation need? Because ultimately, this is it. This is where, look, that's great. I want this. I want this all day long. I want the empire. I want to stand in my power. I want to accept and receive my power. I want to know what that power is, what connects me on high, and I can bring that power down low and onto this earth. And I've got a kingdom. I've got the empire. I can rule. I can be a sovereign ruler. I can own that archetype. And when I say owning an archetype, I don't mean you are the archetype. I mean, I have capacity to work with that energy. I have capacity to understand what that energy needs so that way I can funnel it and create it and use it for my highest good, for my creations. And the Pentacles, again, that's your physical world. All the things that are happening in March, all of the goodness, all of these changes, all the shit that we've gone through, all of that was to better us. It was for us. It was for us. It was to get us here. The work that you put in, Saturn, the work that you put in, Saturn will gift. Clear. All right, that is the end of those messages. Let's get a Heal Yourself Oracle card. As we head into March, what message do you have to help us heal ourselves as we transition through these dynamic energies in March? What message do you have, Spirit, for us? Thank you. Ooh, bride. I like it. Look how beautiful this is. Hold on. And it's a number 7. Look at how beautiful this is. I'm going to put it up here. That is such a wonderful card. I don't know how many times I've actually used this Oracle deck, but I love smelling books. Love smelling paper, love smelling books. All right, pride. So I'm actually going to hold this up a little. Yeah, we'll hold it like that so that way you can see the card. I'm going to read from the book because this is where the intention comes from. All right, pride. You may be acting out of arrogance and vanity. Humility is the key. When you are prideful, you can become harsh and not conscious of your weakness. This can temporarily make you feel more powerful and superior to others, whilst at the same time cause you to be judgmental, unteachable, and hardened. Have you been fighting, quarreling, and disagreeing with others? And I just heard yourself. Are you always trying to prove a point and defend your position? Do you think that you are always right? By holding on to shadow pride, you are stopping yourself from progressing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Stop overestimating your importance and learn to be humble. Ooh. That down. I gotta read that again. Stop overestimating your importance and learn to be humble. When you are too proud, you cannot hear other people's advice and cannot receive their assistance. Empowerment means that you can be soft, caring, aware, and gentle. Recognize that you need other people's support to achieve true success. That is a King of Pentacles. That is how you successfully work with that archetype, as well as the Emperor. Action. All right, so there's a little action here. Take some time during the day to relax. This would be great on the 3rd and the 4th, just hearing that. Lie down if possible and look carefully at this card. Screenshot. Ready? Bam. Screenshot. And we're good. How does it make you feel? How do you relate to it? Ask yourself, where am I attached to a false sense of who I am? Where have I overestimated my abilities or charged ahead unprepared for the challenges I face? Where in the past has a sense of pride led me to a fall? Instead of taking this personally, now is your opportunity to feel and express your willingness to release any pride that has held you back, and in doing so, become more teachable. If you have hurt other people, consider apologizing and being more thoughtful. Take accountability. That was not in there. I added that because that's what I heard. All right. That's it. I am so excited. Welcome to March, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. March is going to be the one. I had said it in my 2023 year ahead. March and October are my 2 big months from an astrology perspective. So when we come back next week, again, it will be the Virgo full moon. We'll have a whole spread and reading for Virgo, for the Virgo full moon. I'm super excited about that. And lots more astrology because, as we know, on the 7th, right after that Virgo full moon, Saturn heads right into Pisces with his happy ass. And we are prepared. I'm just going to keep saying that so that way I can feel more prepared. But yeah, very exciting to be alive. Very exciting time right now. There is just so much going on. So I am blessed to be with each of you on this journey. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are interested in more astrology, more information, please make sure to go check out my About page, both on YouTube and on Twitch. You can also look in the description box below if you are watching this on YouTube. I will have all of the information there about Daily Dose, the Daily Dose, which is a capsule that me and my bestie are doing on WhatsApp. It is a 3-month subscription capsule where you get daily astrology information. You get specials, you get news first, if you will. You get specialty lives that then are posted later. So you get all of the goodness daily right at your fingertips. So if that is something that interests you, make sure to check that out. And I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.